Okay, hello and welcome Battleforge community. Today there is another replay between ndclub and blueberryboy from the Skylords Reborn Championship tournament that I hosted in August. This replay was the award-winning replay for the most creative strategy, in my opinion. And I think both players had a very interesting approach to the game right here, which was very fun and entertaining to watch, in my opinion. So we have two Frost starters on this map here on Simai, Master Archers against Frost Mage. Obviously, like the Frost Mage is a very strong unit in the spam against Frost tier 1. If you get like 8 or 9 mages together, there's not a lot that Frost can do because Master Archers get knocked back, the Ice Guardian gets kited, and Frost does not have a proper MM unit to counter the mage spam properly. So right here we see very aggressive double well pickup. You could technically rush this in a scenario with the mage spam or something, but blueberryboy ends up responding. And never mind, it was just a double. He did not pick up a power here, so he just was up one power here. I bet here. But both players went to power wells, so not going for instant aggression. If blueberryboy does not play frost mage, he also cannot rush the position over here very well, because he started with Master Archers and Frost Mage, obviously wins the 1v1 against Master Archers quite convincingly. So early tier 2 on this side, and we see a third power with the Ice Shield Tower to defend the position against tier 2. So basically ndclub is trying to get an economy advantage in this game by picking up another power very early. That will generate more power over time, obviously, while blueberryboy ends up deciding picking up the early 2-2 to get the access to more powerful creatures here. And this will be in pure frost, so War Eagles will be available as well as Storm Singers and maybe Sky of Templar later on in the game if there are more units in the field. So at this point in time we see another tier 2. And yeah, at this point in time, blueberryboy also does not have a lot of power to go for a tempo attack, since there's an Ice Shield Tower, and he also obviously plays Pure Frost, which has a lot of slow units, so he decides to go for the third power well as third warrior 2. So both players on 5 power wells here, trying to scale up, and it is a Pure Frost mirror match. So we see this Ice Barrier here.
White Rangers on the march.
Probably trying to get access here, and we see White Rangers, which is very uncommon here, but a very interesting idea to defend over the cliff here. And as they are M counters, they deal a lot of damage. As you can see, those guys have a lot of range, and they can basically block this area, this area, this area, and this area with the home defense. So while they might be not the strongest cards, I think it's a very creative idea to kind of defend this well cluster over here. So basically, ndclub does not open up any big weakness that can be abused by going for a large tempo attack, since every power well is at the same spot here. Pure Frost does not have a huge amount of AoE, like, I don't know, Shadow Phoenix would be very effective into this, but Pure Frost does not have such an option, so he decides to take power wells over here. But with the Sky of Templar, Ice Shield Tower and the White Rangers, there's some bound power obviously in the defense, and blueberryboy wants to break this by taking a lot of extra power wells here, and this kind of shifts the game obviously into later state. And yeah, ndclub going probably for those power wells here, because he wants to use those White Rangers quite well, because then he can use them from here to defend this power well and vice versa. So those power wells are close to each other, and he can use the defensive ability all the time to kind of scale up and go for a strong late game. So a lot of Storm Singers being played here, attacking those War Eagle immediately with the Home Soil. And there's no Cold Snap or an Ice Shield to protect the War Eagle, so this one ends up going down, which is quite problematic, because the Sky of Templar does not have any impact as long as they are just ground units. So good idea for avoiding the War Eagle threat here. So right here, those White Rangers obviously deal a lot of damage to all of the units at once, so this area Ice Shield comes in
White Rangers
to protect the Storm Singers. But yeah, breaking through this White Ranger defense is quite difficult. It always costs some power obviously to activate this and shoot over the cliff. But yeah, we see 7 power wells, and I think blueberryboy is up a power well here, and he tries to kind of keep this tempo up, since there's a lot of bound power. I think both players should destroy those ice barriers here.
White Rangers on the march.
It grants a lot of extra power and scaling for the late game, so we might get to see a lot of action in tier 3. Now we can see more and more White Rangers trying to set up this defensive area here. And right now the Sky of Templar finally can generate value because it can heal this power well for free, which is a very, very important component that this Sky of Templar can bring to pure frost and also some other frost splashes, as usually repairing those power wells is quite expensive. Even with the Cobalt trick, it always costs 50 power to get 1100 points, and that is quite a lot. So right now we can see blueberryboy taking tier 3 here very early, because ndclub also tried to equalize in power wells. Obviously you don't want to fall behind in wells by too much. And since blueberryboy has a lot less bound power, he has more power available to his pool, and also was up for quite a while with 1 power. He gets to pick up his tier 3 earlier. Right now we sadly see a certain weakness of those White Rangers, that they are like S units can get knocked back easily, but Wintertide here preventing that knockback, so quite nice. Also the damage reduction for the War Eagle that was grounded. Very, very nice use of the Wintertide over here. But now Silver advances are in the area, and a Sky of Sage, which is a very, very strong counter to Sky of Templar and War Eagle. Very unorthodox choice, but in this case very, very effective. And those White Rangers deal less damage to buildings, so a lot of pressure now onto this side of ndclub, who's down in tech. Timeless one might get killed by a War Eagle Scream if he reacts in time, but no, he gets the freeze. And yeah, Stormsinger trying to defend against the Stormsinger over here that just tries to annoy the Power Well here a little bit. And yeah, the Sky of Templar trying to be around to do something against the Sky of Sage. But right now it is quite a difficult position here for ndclub to be in, because yeah, those tier 3 units are just so cost effective, and it will be very hard to contest one of those tier 3 positions, as it can be immediately attacked by Tremors. Maybe Ashbound Pyro, maybe no Ashbound Pyro, it's Triple Frost. So Tremors the biggest threat technically in tier 3. And those War Eagles are getting destroyed by the Sky of Sage. And yeah, at this point in time, War Eagle trying to defend against those Silver Lancers here. More Sky of Templars being played to have some air defense. Even though they are not L counters, they are still quite strong against air units. But yeah, as you can see, they cannot compete with the L counter with the Sky of Sage here. They have the bonus against XL damage. It's quite problematic here. So you might want to get more Stormsingers in here, get more M counters on the ground. Yeah, also choosing the Stormsinger here. And now things get quite spicy, because blueberryboy ends up going for tier 4 here, trying to use his tempo lead in a different way. So War Eagle is played, another War Eagle is played. So obviously very strong L counters, and right now there's no Sky of Sage in the area, but both getting just pulled to the ground by the Stormsingers, so no War Eagle Scream gets through. So at this point in time, still this attack seems to be deflected at this point in time, and those War Eagles are probably quite good at cliffing over here and attacking this orb once this is defended. A fast Scream is necessary to kill this Timeless one early, but ndclub decides to micro this War Eagle in, so this freeze at least just hits one single unit here. Also using a lot of the power that he has to get more units on the ground and the home soil to make those Sky Templars competitive against the Sage. And right now we see a Worldbreaker gun at the bottom here, and immediately getting into the heavy snowball mode, while these units are trying to apply a lot of damage on this cliff. So 3 War Eagles, 4 War Eagles, so this is under a lot of pressure. But we see another Sky Sage, and there's another use of this card. It was not just to counter the War Eagles, but also to empower this Worldbreaker gun. It just deals 110% extra damage. So this is pretty hard to defend here. But now this Worldbreaker gun is ready. I think that will be one of the most satisfying moments overall. Boom! 4 power is done. Orb down. This tower dropped. And yeah, that was just huge. Like, that was just massive. And Timeless One still trying to buy more time here, so this gets stalled out. And at this point, ndclub ended up leaving. So I think that it was just so satisfying watching this Worldbreaker gun destroying this entire base in a millisecond. Like that was just so massive. One of the more beautiful ways to use this Worldbreaker gun, but also a very, very interesting approach of like going for the center control and trying to scale up defending with those wide ranges at this center area to block those corners with the home defense. But also combined with the Wintertide against the knockback, in the end, the Worldbreaker gun punishing this kind of defense and breaking through in an instant, like doing what tier 3 units couldn't do or in the last 10 minutes here. So yeah, very, very nice replay, very nice game of the tournament. I wish I would have been able to cast this one live and see how this Worldbreaker gun ends up closing this game. But yes, I still hope you enjoyed the replay, and thanks for watching.